Sophie Cunningham threatens of potential lockout if WNBA players' demands aren't met. The WNBA's labor tensions are heating up, and Indiana Fever veteran Sophie Cunningham has become the latest star to raise the stakes. With the current collective bargaining agreement, CBA, set to expire on October 31st, Cunningham warned that players are prepared to take drastic measures if their demands aren't met. Sophie Cunningham issues strong lockout warning. Speaking at the Fever's end-of-season availability, Cunningham delivered a blunt message about the possibility of a WNBA lockout. "There's a potential lockout. I promise you we aren't going to play until they give us what we deserve," Cunningham said, per ESPN's Alexa Philippou. "That's kinda where it's headed, unfortunately, which would be the dumbest basketball decision, business-wise ever, considering the momentum the W has." Her comments reflect a growing frustration among players who feel their contributions far outweigh their current compensation. Despite the league generating $200 million in 2023 and 2024, the 2025 salary cap remains just $1.5 million, a figure players say highlights a major imbalance. Backing Napheesa Collier's criticism. Cunningham's statement follows Minnesota Lynx star Napheesa Collier's fiery critique earlier this week, in which she called out Commissioner Kathy Engelbert and league leadership. "We have the best players in the world. We have the best fans in the world. But right now we have the worst leadership in the world," Collier declared. Cunningham echoed those sentiments, saying she's tired of the league, adding, "They need to step up and be better. Our leadership, from top to bottom, needs to be held accountable." She continued, "I think there are a lot of people in a position of power in the WNBA who might be great business people, but they don't know about basketball. And that's gotta change." Beyond pay, Cunningham also cited officiating problems as a major point of contention. She argued that inconsistent refereeing is hurting the league's integrity and demanded meaningful reforms. "When we're competing at the highest level and it's like a battlefield out there, when we're agreeing on the court because of how awful the officials are, that's saying something," she said. The threat of a lockout comes at a time when the league is enjoying unprecedented momentum, bolstered by stars like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and Aya Wilson, driving fan engagement and viewership. But with the CBA deadline looming and little progress reported, tensions between players and the league office are reaching a breaking point. If negotiations stall, Cunningham's warning could mark the beginning of the WNBA's most turbulent offseason yet. The WNBA has always prided itself on resilience. From battling for visibility to pushing for fair pay, the league's story has been one of relentless fight. But in 2025, that fight reached a boiling point when Indiana Fever forward Sophie Cunningham, never one to bite her tongue, issued a statement that reverberated across arenas, boardrooms, and social media feeds alike. With her signature fire, Cunningham warned of a potential lockout if the WNBA and its leadership failed to address the mounting concerns of its players. It wasn't just another soundbite. It was a shot across the bow. The breaking point. For years, WNBA athletes have spoken about the disparity between their workload and their compensation. They've pointed to the massive growth in ratings, sponsorships, and fan engagement, particularly with stars like Caitlin Clark, Aya Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and others driving unprecedented visibility. Cunningham herself has been part of that wave, her energy and intensity making her both a fan favorite and a media lightning rod. But the players' patience has worn thin. The collective bargaining agreement looms large in conversations, and the whispers of discontent have grown louder with each misstep by leadership. Sophie's words didn't come from nowhere. They came after months of escalating frustration. "The numbers don't lie," she said during a press conference that quickly went viral. "This league is thriving because of the women who put their bodies on the line every single night. If our demands aren't met, if leadership doesn't start listening, then yeah, we might have no choice but to lock it down." Why Sophie's voice matters. Cunningham isn't just another player chiming in. She's carved a reputation as one of the most outspoken, unapologetic voices in the WNBA. Whether taking on rivals on the court or league officials off it, she has consistently leaned into her role as both competitor and agitator. Her willingness to call things as she sees them resonates with younger fans and frustrates those who prefer quiet compliance. This moment, though, felt different. Cunningham wasn't just venting, she was drawing a line. And she wasn't standing alone. Within hours of her comments, several stars posted messages of solidarity. Retweets rolled in, Instagram stories amplified her words, and hashtags like #WNBPlayersFirst and #LockoutTalk began trending. Cunningham's boldness cracked open a conversation many players had been having behind closed doors. Now it was out in the open. The core demands. At the heart of the potential lockout talk are three key demands. Revenue sharing, players want a bigger slice of the pie. With league revenues climbing thanks to broadcast deals, streaming rights, and sold-out arenas, athletes argue their compensation hasn't caught up with the growth. Improved travel standards. The fight for charter flights has become symbolic of the players' push for basic respect and safety. While the NBA travels in luxury, WNBA players often cram into commercial flights, dealing with delays, cramped seats, and even harassment from passengers. Transparency and accountability in leadership. Players like Cunningham have repeatedly called out Commissioner Kathy Engelbert and league executives for dismissive remarks or lack of action. "We're not just grateful to be here anymore," Sophie said. "We deserve to be respected as professionals." Fans react, division and support. As expected, Cunningham's comments divided opinion. Some critics labeled her stance reckless or disrespectful, arguing that a lockout could stall the league's momentum. But fans who have followed the WNBA's uphill battle were overwhelmingly supportive. Many pointed out that the NBA itself endured multiple lockouts over similar issues, and those battles ultimately strengthened the league. On message boards and podcasts, Fever fans debated whether Cunningham's words would create tension within the locker room or unite them even more. For Indiana's rising star Caitlin Clark, it meant navigating the dual role of being both a rookie phenomenon and an advocate for systemic change. Though Clark's public statements were measured, insiders say she privately backs the push for better conditions. A league at a crossroads. What makes this moment so critical is timing. The WNBA is at its most popular point in history. Ratings have shattered records, merchandise flies off shelves, and the new generation of players has captivated mainstream audiences in ways unseen before. In other words, the league has leverage. But with leverage comes risk. A lockout could freeze that momentum, alienating casual fans just as the WNBA becomes a staple in sports culture. Cunningham's gamble, then, is a high-stakes one, forcing leadership to confront uncomfortable truths without stalling the league's rise.